Hello there, I'm Alexis Floyd, a 4th Doctor scarf enthusiast, and today I'm here to talk about these. The color changes used on the Stunt duplicate scarf as seen and used in seasons 14 through 17 of Doctor Who. So, this scarf is a bit strange. Unlike the scarf it was made to duplicate back when it was brought in season 13's The Android Invasion, this one has 2 different color changes used in it. So it's got this one over here, starting from the first stripe on the scarf all the way up till here, which is a rather clean looking, inconspicuous one where you just weave in the loose ends into the respective sides. And then you've got a second one starting here from this red into gray stripe that is a bit more noticeable. You can see it in certain, behind the scenes HD photographs. And because we like to replicate what we can see, this is something people want to reproduce. So, because this one is a bit harder to conceptualize, I'm going to be going over that. So, I have 2 methods in mind for how to reproduce these so-called barrel joins, as dubbed by Matt Swanson back when he went to visit the scarf in 2014. One to do while you're knitting, one to do after you're done knitting. And while the first one is more convenient, I'm going to discuss the second one because I personally believe that's how it was actually done by the knitter, for reasons I will explain after I have shown it off. Okay, so here's what you're going to need. For sure, a pair of scissors. It's not mandatory, but a ruler is nice. And for method 2, a darning needle. So, you've reached the end of your stripe. In my case, this purple one. My next color is red. So I'm just gonna grab an amount of red here. I'm going to measure off a 6-inch tail of my old color. I'm going to snip that. I'm going to measure off a 6-inch tail for my red. There we go. I will grab my needle and we can begin. So, unlike the hero joins, you change colors right away, right on the first stripe. So I'd just pull on my purple tail tightly so this first stitch isn't loose. And knit my red. There we go. So for the well-knitting version of this, it's thankfully rather simple. We're just going to be running our old tail here over top of our working yarn and our tail, which we're going to be knitting together for a couple of stitches. Now, sometimes, if you look, it looks like you're weaving the tail of both colors around your working yarn. But this is not the case. I've got a picture here that shows this interchange here from gray into tan, where the gray tail has degraded away for whatever reason, and you can see the doubled up stitches of tan that are left behind. So you do not wrap both tails. So knit. Oh dear. So don't pull too tightly or you'll just lose everything. So there we go. Knit with both tails. There we go. And then bring that over, and then bring that over top, and then knit with both tails. Now I think for this stripe, if I'm not mistaken, we do that for just one more stitch. There we go. And done. So the dupe is strange in that sometimes it's only even one doubled up stitch when they change colors, which I think is rather odd, and I feel it's not necessarily a good idea to stick to accuracy there. I'd like to go to at least 3 doubled up stitches of the new color. But feel free to do what you think is best. But for this particular stripe, we're done here with both the old color and the new color tail, and so you can just knit the rest of the row as normal. There we go. Done row 1. We can flip the work and go with row 2. We are back to our doubled stitches, and so we can just knit those as one stitch. There we go. That is the well knitting method of these color changes. Okay, so I lost my darning needle, so I had to go find that. So I unwound my stitches here, and so we're going to do method 2 now, one with the darning needle. This one is equally as simplistic. So we'll just go into these bottom of the red stitches here, right? I unfortunately had to film this earlier, so my tail's a little short, but hopefully you'll get the idea. I'll just go down into those stitches. Boop. And then again. There we go. This is a point where you would snip your yarn tails. And there you go. Depending on which method you used, you're done. It's going to look the same either way, but I find that darning needle method, you're less likely to have a very loose stitch at the very beginning of your stripe, so that's why I sometimes choose to do it myself, because it leads to less inconsistent tension issues. Now, I mentioned earlier that I felt that the darning needle method was the one that the original knitter used, and so this comes from a couple of observations about this scarf, and so, warning, this is purely speculation. So, first first observation is that these doubled up stitches here end here, but at the beginning of these barrel joins, they go on for quite a while, as you can see. They go on for a lot longer. So why just drop one tail? That doesn't make any sense. And then if you go way back here, you'll see, I'm going to post a picture, you'll see that the yarns, when they were woven in, they were definitely not following the direction of the knitting when shoving those just laterally in there. Rather strange. So they were certainly not, certainly weaving them in while they were doing here. And if the, messy construction is anything to go by, this was probably a rush job. So, I couldn't imagine they would spend any amount of time trying to get just another scarf out. So, this person was probably trying to do this as quickly as possible, and pardon my opinion, it seemed like a rather amateurish knitter. Maybe it was the first time going. If so, they had rather consistent gauge. Regardless, that's my thoughts about this. You can do whatever you want, though. It's going to end up the same regardless. So, in the description below, you're going to find some bonus material that you can use to make an even better replica. As I said, the starting ones are a lot longer, and they're all of starting barrel joins are a lot longer, and they're all of varying lengths. So in the description below you'll find pictures of all these joins made by people when they went to visit the scarf over the years. So you'll get pictures of these ones, and even pictures of these normal ones down here. So you'll be able to accurately replicate everything. That is, of course, excluding one thing: the final stripe on the scarf. This one here, which is no longer on there. They removed it for Shada because of damage. And so this interchange no longer exists. And as far as I'm aware, we don't have any pictures of it from the show. If we do find one, I will also post a link to that in the description. Otherwise, you've got everything at your disposal to go make as accurate a replica as you desire. Good luck to you.